Hi guys, welcome back to Flora Fun and Food. My name is Lauren and today we're going to be finally planting stuff out in our garden for the summer. These have all been out here for a couple of weeks now hardening off. I have, you can't really see it on camera, but there's a sheltered area where my deck and my sunroom meet, so it's kind of the perfect place to harden off plants, which just means getting them acclimated to being outside. Since I grew all of these from seed indoors, they need kind of a transition period from indoors to outdoors because the conditions are very different. So it's been raining a ton. Today is finally a day that it's only slightly sprinkling. So we're gonna try and get these planted out because at my school garden, I planted the same type of things a long time ago and they're already ready to harvest. Mine I have been lazy about and they've just been sitting out here on the table. So I'm hoping to get these in the pots so that they can start growing and I can start harvesting things. So let's go. I always find it easier to just go ahead and place everything where it's going to go. You know, just take the nursery pot and stick it in that bucket. That way I can kind of plan out where everything is. I can kind of tell, you know, if I have too much somewhere or too little somewhere else, or if I have an extra space here or there. It just helps get me organized. Okay, we're just gonna start at the end here and work our way over. I'm just kind of pulling out all the little weeds that have sprung up. I have tons of mushrooms growing, which is a good sign. It means you have healthy soil. But I'm going to pull those out so that they don't suck up any of the nutrients for my plants. Okay, and I'm going to just go ahead and start planting. This is my bay leaf tree, so my laurel tree. And I am going to cover this with fresh straw, but for now we'll just leave what's already in here. And then this is a Chicago hardy fig tree. So this should be able to withstand our harsher winters here. Here I have a wisteria, and I'm super excited because these are gorgeous, but I don't want to plant it in the ground because they can be kind of invasive. Here I have pumpkins on a stick. Now I planted multiple, so I'm just going to kind of tease them apart. And pull out the weaker ones. Here we have two different kinds of ground cherries. So I have Aunt Molly's and Lowen family. Finally, over here I have some matchstick chrysanthemums and mammoth chrysanthemums. Okay, these two buckets on the end here are going to be jalapenos. Then we're going to do cherry hot in this container. And then yellow Hungarian hot across. Now these, let me show you. These I did not take very good care of, and these are the ones I was really excited to grow. This is the Sugar Rush peach pepper and the Tabasco pepper, and I had them tucked away behind other ones and forgot to water them for quite a while. Sorry, it is raining and I'm hot and I just look gross, but I have two little maybe Sugar Rush and one Tabasco, so fingers crossed they'll grow. So this bucket's going to be our sad ones. Our Tabasco is going to go at the back, and our two Sugar Rush peach will go in the front. Across from our mismatched bucket, we're going to do our ahi charapita. This one doesn't look so good, but we'll try it. Next to that, we will do Scotch bonnet, which is really spicy. Leave those in there for now. In this bucket here, we are going to do our big guy hybrid hot. And then in the last two, I'm going to do dragon cayenne in the front and long thin cayenne in the back. Okay. And then we'll save these for another row. Now each of these big guy hybrids has a smaller one in it, and I didn't thin them out in time. Ooh, this is a really good one, so I'm gonna pull it out though. It'll just suffocate itself out. I'll keep this one. Maybe I'll plant the big guy in the back here. Let's see if it does anything. That was a really healthy one. And I have room. And oh, same with these. They both look healthy. Let's see if one of them comes out easier than the other. Nope, they're about the same. Alright, we're going to stick another big guy hybrid in with this one in the back. I'm trying to keep this to 3 plants per bucket because that'll just give them optimal growing room without suffocating each other out. Okay, so this middle area here is going to be kind of the overflow for the spicy peppers that didn't fit on the edge one, and then we'll plant out the rest of our sweet peppers. Okay, so the last of the spicy, we have habanero going here and death spiral going there. And again, I'm just going to tease apart the two that are kind of growing together. Luckily I didn't thin them out because the other ones either didn't germinate or died. When I had my shoulder surgery, I was really bad about watering everything. So we're just gonna get what we get. This middle section originally was a bunch of garlic, and I don't know what happened because I'll show you here in a minute, but the garlic in my raised bed is doing great. None of the garlic in my pots came up, so I don't know if that was because of the crazy winter we had, or I have noticed some holes here, so I'm thinking maybe squirrels dug them up, but I can't imagine they dug up every single garlic bulb from the buckets and not from the raised bed. So if you have any thoughts on that, let me know, because I was really disappointed that none of my bucket garlic grew. So luckily I did plant some out in the raised bed, but kind of want to try it again next fall just to kind of see if I can get it to grow, maybe put a protective layer over it or something, but it didn't work this time. So this is now the pepper bed. Okay, in this bed here, I'm going to plant 3 different types of sweet peppers. So the first one up is a Cupid mini bell pepper. Then I have a red night bell pepper. And finally, the Eros mini bell pepper. In this bucket here, we're planting Escamillo sweet pepper, Gypsy bell pepper, and Early Sensation bell pepper. And I'm just doing one of each because these other ones are going to my school so that the kids can enjoy growing them. All right, and then these over here are yellow banana sweet peppers. Okay, up next we have some leeks that I started from seed. I'm not sure how these are going to do, but we're gonna try it. Okay, next up we have onions. Now, I planted some as onions, like Walla Walla onions, and some to just use as green onions, but I also have a ton of onion sets over there, so I think I'm just gonna make all of these green onions. Green onions are just young onions, so these will be ready to harvest a lot sooner, and we'll just have a variety of different onions. So these two will be my Walla Walla, and these two will just be green onions. So just kidding, these are my Walla Walla, those are gonna be green onions. These will be, I don't know what. Okay. Okay, next up is our tomato bed. This first pot here is gonna be San Marzano that I grew from seed. And I like to bury my tomatoes as deep as possible because they will grow roots along the stem. So the deeper you plant it, the sturdier your plant will be. And I should have thinned these out a long time ago. Up next is Cherokee Purple. Okay, this one is Artesian Bumblebee. Brandywine Pink. Oh, I just topped that one. Shoot. These don't look wonderful. Oh yeah, these are falling apart. So I'm gonna take a strong one here and put it right up front. These are my Super Sweet 100 Hybrid. Okay, on this side we have Amish Paste Tomato. Next up we have Black Crim. Next up is Summer Feast. Okay, in this one we're gonna do Sun Gold Cherry Tomato. Then we're gonna do a Black Cherry. Then a Jet Star. And then my Costoluto Genovese do not look great, so I'm gonna try the healthiest one and hope that it comes back. And finally on the end here, we're gonna do Black Cherry again. Okay, over here I have Purple Tomatillos and Grande Rio Verde Tomatillos. Well, I just broke that one. Just like tomatoes, I'm burying these a little deep because they will also form roots on their stems. Looks like only 2 of my purple tomatillos survived, so I'm going to be really careful pulling these apart. Shoot. I think I broke that one after I just said I was going to be careful. Okay, before I forget, because my other battery died, this first bucket is just a mix of different kale. Then we have dinosaur kale. Then we have green magic broccoli. Then we have broccoli romanesco and broccoli desicchio. And then we have thyme. This bucket was my Chester thornless blackberry, but as you can see, it did not survive the winter. Everything else in the berry department did, so that's exciting. So here we're gonna plant our cauliflower romanesco. Okay, in my strawberry bed right there, I planted alpine strawberries. They look yellow. Over here, in this bucket, it is surrounded by cabbage, and in the middle is one single Brussels sprout that survived. This is also cabbage. And then 2 buckets of assorted lettuce. So I found more ground cherries. These were pineapple ground cherries. So I planted as many as I could there, and I moved the chrysanthemums over here. Okay, this is day 2 because I ran out of daylight. So in these front middle buckets here, I'm gonna plant as many onion sets as I can. I'm probably gonna move the chrysanthemums a second time because I just keep changing my mind. So we're gonna use the ones that I bought from Lowe's, and then I have some from my local community garden. I probably have way more than will fit here, so we'll just do as much as we can. To make planting a little easier, I'm going to be using one of my moss poles to make holes. I ordered a Dibber, which is kind of the same diameter here, but it's not here yet. So this will be easy just because it's pointy, it's got a nice diameter, and it'll just help kind of poke some holes for those onion sets, and it's a lot faster than trying to dig each hole by hand. Now, when you're planting onions, you want to point the pointy side up and the root side or the flatter side down, because that's how they're going to grow. So I'm just going to poke a little hole, stick it in just to where like the very tip is kind of sticking up or just right under the surface. And I'm doing all the white onions over here. This was a variety pack. I'm throwing away any that are moldy and crusty and crunchy because they are not going to grow. So the next row in, I'm going to do the yellow onions. Okay, so while I'm planting onions, Keegan has been putting the final touches on my irrigation system, and so he has this blue tool, which I'll link down below, that has just kind of helped him get the smaller hose onto the sprinkler head. So what he does is he takes the hose and slots it in between the top section like that. And then he holds the hose kind of against the tool in his hand to keep it from sliding and moving. And he leaves a little sticking out. And then he takes the sprinkler head and kind of works it onto the hose. It's kind of tricky. Some have been easy, some have been really difficult. So he slides it on until the hose is touching the cylinder of the sprinkler head. Then he detaches the tool and sticks the sprinkler head in the dirt. It was as simple as that. So he cut the hoses to length already. So this smaller diameter hose, he bought T-shaped connectors. Sorry if you can hear my neighbor's dog. And just kind of did the same thing, fit the tubes on the end of the T, just with a friction fit. And then same down here on this larger hose, it has a connector, so this bigger diameter fit into this connector, and then a smaller hose comes up. Then he split it up here, drilled a hole in each bucket, and slid them through. And then that way each bucket has its own individual sprinkler head, and we won't waste water with just the, the big yard sprinklers. These will stay low and not waste so much water. They won't get on. Anyway, sorry, he broke a sprinkler head. So it'll stay low. It won't spray the foliage, which can cause, some issues like blight and stuff like that. So this is going to be a much more efficient system, I hope. All right, I'm going to do red onions in these 2 buckets here. So I'm just dibbing a hole like that. These have already sprouted, as you can see. I don't know if you can see the bucket, sorry. I have this massive crate of onions. So again, root side down, green side up. I'm gonna plant it just kind of root deep, or bulb deep, I should say. And then they stick up like that. It's okay if some of the foliage breaks, it'll grow back. So I had to kind of cut this video short because I wasn't able to get as much done in the garden as I wanted to. I have had some really late nights at work. I've had physical therapy. I've had out-of-town weddings. Just it feels like something every day. And so I just kind of get out into the garden whenever I can, and that's okay. It's going to be there tomorrow. So as long as I get stuff out within the next, few weeks, it'll be just fine. It's going to grow. I'm going to have time. So I finished up these onions. I ended up doing a mix of red, yellow, and white on the 2 on the left end and the 2 on the right end. And then the 3 in the middle here, I did red, then yellow, then white. So this will be a nice big plot of onions. The other ones in the bucket, or the crate, I guess, look nice because they're sprouted, but the bulbs themselves are just really mushy, really kind of gross. So I'm going to compost them. They may grow in the compost bin, and that's okay. But I planted out some really healthy looking ones, and I'm just going to make the best of what I've got. So I'm going to cut this video short. I still have a ton of flowers to plant, which my plan for that is changing as we speak. I still have some herbs to get in. When it got dark, I ended up planting some asparagus crowns that I bought because my little baby asparagus ones, I don't know if they're going to survive, so I mixed those in with my strawberries, which is a tip I saw on, I think, YouTube. So anyway, let's stop this for now. I will continue filming as I plant more out into the garden, but for now we've got a lot of, the fall stuff pulled out. I've cleaned things out. I'm still in the process of, cleaning all the leaves out of the mulch, but it'll be fine. So if you guys liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and head over to my channel to subscribe for more content like this, and I hope to see you guys again very soon. Thanks, guys. Bye.